I hadn't worked a taste for the streets out of my system yet. I still had a desire to be the best street nigga that I can be. And for me, stick-up robberies became my thing.
So hold on.
True stories from TRAPLAND OG.
Pick up the rock and I give it and go. Set up the play and I pick and I roll. Pack me the stick and I'm ready to blow. Like it's a movie, I put on the show. Come to the trap and you cop and you go. Hall of Fame and I rock and I roll. Whatever you want.
For me, stick-up robberies became my thing.
So hold on. we gonna reverse back. We're gonna reverse back because we're gonna get there. You did your first bid at 16. I want to say that's when you did your first bid, right?
Yeah.
What was it for?
It was for armed robbery.
And what happened? What's the story behind that?
So we was hanging out, me and my cousins, we was hanging out, riding around instead, and we was drinking and celebrating because it was New Year's. And I hate to even tell this story because now I'm looking back, like what was I doing outside at this time, riding around on New Year's, but we was riding around drinking, so-called celebrating. We seen some dudes on the sideline, and I had got the bright idea to, I'm gonna rob these dudes. And that's horrible that I'm laughing, but I'm just saying I had the bright idea that I'm gonna rob these dudes. And so I went over there and I slapped the dude in his head respectfully, and and I robbed him. And it was some other stuff going on. Like one of the guys with me was arguing with his girl, and so we was like waiting for him to hurry up and like let's go. And some guy pull up and just looking, and I'm like, what are you looking at? Mind your business. And I robbed him, and I didn't even know how to drive.
So you just snuffed him? You just punched him?
I had a BB gun. A little BB gun. I slapped him in the face, you know what I'm saying, and took his stuff and his bread, and I'm waiting. Now I'm back in the car. They ain't really even see me do it. So now we in the car driving around, and I drove. Police got right behind me in 2 minutes. Some super silly shit like, word. And that was it, bro. That's when everything changed, King.
So go into that. What do you mean? That's when everything changed. You say
I got arrested. So I was 16. So now this is the first time in the county. I ended up going up north for that joint. They gave me a 1 to 3. So now you taking a 16-year-old kid because now I'm a kid, right? Because at the age I am now, we look at a 16-year-old dude, and I wouldn't talk to a 16-year-old dude as if he was a kid. I give everybody the same respect, but critiquing myself, I was a kid. I was 16, but it's too late to be a kid now, because now it's time to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't have no bread, so it was no bailing out, and it was a bullshit little robbery. I probably should have never even went up north, but that's another part of the story. You know what I'm saying? Now we're in Nassau County. That's when A4, the main jail, was alive and thriving. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little dude. 168, 172. You know what I'm saying? Dreads in my hair, up top, fade on the side, gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? And you get up on the tears, you hear all the stories about the county, all that shit was true. All the jail stories was true back then, you know what I'm saying?
I heard Nassau was turned though.
Nassau was out of control.
Man,
that's only niggas who ain't never been there, bro. And everybody know Nassau ain't. Nassau is out of control, fam. You gotta go for yours, bro. And it don't be strangers. It be niggas you might have knew all your life, bro.
What's some crazy shit that you seen in there?
I mean, I don't really know what's crazy to me now because, I've been there all my life, unfortunately. So now what's crazy to the average person, to me, might just be a regular day in prison.
So
you
just
know what I'm saying?
Give me something that you...
But in the county, I didn't really see nothing crazy at the time, but the level of fighting and play was just astronomical, bro. Like I was saying, I was 16 and I was a twerp, so when I got in there, dudes was 17, 18, looking like grown men, so dudes would be... We used to play like put cards on the floor, and everybody would pick the cards, and whoever picked the highest cards, we all gonna jump them. You know what I'm saying? That's how we played. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Nassau County shit, bro. Like I'm talking about, but this, I don't want to water it down. I'm talking about for real. We're on this 20-man gallery. Ain't no police around. They come around every couple of hours to do their little check, you know what I'm saying? And they lock the door in the house, so you're basically up there by yourself. So to kill time, we will put the deck of cards. Yo, what up? Let's play, kill a man with the highest card. So we will put the cards on the table or the floor, whatever. and shuffle and turn them over and every, you know, whoever picked the highest card, the rest of the dudes who was playing, everybody had to play. Everybody had to play.
So there's no option to not play.
Ain't no options, bro.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
Ain't no sitting nothing out, bro. You're gonna play. You gotta play, bro. Just think about what 16, 17. These niggas don't know how to stop. Ain't no stopping, King, right? There's nothing to do. So it's whoever is the strongest up there.
So you can't just mind your business?
You can, but you'll play still.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? If you kind of like a mind your business dude, or kind of like a good dude, we won't destroy you too much. One of the crew gonna take a liking to you, like, yo, nah, that's mine. But for the rest, and for the fakers and the fronters, oh, we gonna dog you in there. You know, my thing was beating niggas with slippers. They had these big rubbery brown slippers back in the days, like shower slippers. You know what I'm saying? And so while we slamming dudes around, whoever picked the car, it was like 5 of us who was on the same family. Like we basically ran a tier. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Keith Hayes, Nat Turner, a few other dudes is up there. You know what I'm saying? He was like one of the biggest dudes in the jail. He was an adolescent. You know what I'm saying? I seen him. There was one dude, I don't want to say his name because we cool, he home now. He picked the king. And he was like, threw his hands up, like y'all niggas ain't doing nothing to me. Huh? This nigga Nat Turner.
He got down?
This nigga Nat Turner. Yo, he caught this nigga in the nose, boom! His fucking nose exploded, blow! I said, oh shit! Yo, that shit was bananas. It was blood everywhere, bro.
Holy shit.
You know what I'm saying? Because you get that sometimes, too. We was dogging dudes, bro. You know, because I pick an ace, so my man to pick a king, throw that shit back lean.
So you with the youth right now? You with the youth?
Yeah, we're in adolescence.
Okay, so I know that
the oldest person in adolescence is 18.
Gotcha.
16, 17, 18. When you turn 19, you go to the adult tier.
They said like that's the crazier like parts of they said that the youth it'd be like more wild than like
Think about what I'm saying, bro. We playing Kill a Man with a Car. What kind of fucking game is that? But this is all day. It's whatever the adolescent mind can conjure up.
So then I know you go up north at some point. You go up north.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Why they end up transferring up north?
Because I got sentenced to a state bid. They gave me a 1 and 3 instead of giving me 8 months in the county or 6-5, which is 6 months in the county and 5 years probation. They sent me up north for 1 and 3 and it got broken down to an attempted armed robbery. But now I'm 16 and I'm going up north. You know what I'm saying?
But that don't make sense though, because it was a BB gun and nobody even got hurt.
But
so
that's
your first offense, right?
That's a fact.
That's where
the system fails us at, right there in that space right there. Right? And I don't want to be overly political, but it's the truth. I had no business going up north. They could have very well, in that moment, I'm not going to say it would have changed my life, but perhaps it would have been the thing that changed my life. Had they gave me a break of 5 years probation or 6-5 in the county and go back home. You know what I'm saying? And try something again. I mean, I would have went right back to the fire because I hadn't worked a taste for the streets out of my system yet. I still had a desire to be the best street nigga that I can be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that equates to a certain kind of success. You know what I'm saying? Not just to be a street nigga in terms of just being ignorant and uneducated, but you know everything that street culture implies and being at the highest level of that, which is changing the structure of your family.
Trapland, ayy, trapland, ayy, trapland, ayy, trapland. Streets like quicksand. If you wanna do, you gotta take a risk then. Got the guns like Afghanistan. Young nigga, I'm from Trapland.